Hi, welcome back to Codemaster Coach, your medical coding tutor. Today I wanted to come to you to talk about medical coding books. Now, in the past videos you've heard me talk about using the code book to assign codes for diagnoses and procedures. Well, I've never shown you my books. Now again, these are just books that I use. There are several out there, or books that I have access to. So I just wanted to show you what I have and to tell you what books are used in the medical coding profession. Now we have what's called, ICD-10 is the classification system that we use today. And in order to capture ICD-10, it requires two books. One for diagnoses and one for procedures. And I want to make sure I show you both of these books. I'm going to take the camera off me and put it on the book so that you can see them. ICD-10-CM is used for diagnoses. Okay. As you see here, I've got the 2015 edition. And the only reason I haven't really updated my book this year yet is because the company that I work for has the electronic version and keeps me current that way. And I just use my hard copy as a backup. So as you can see here, this is ICD-10-CM. Again, this is the 2015 edition. I just placed my order for the 2016 edition, and I've got some good news to share with you in just a minute. And notice this is the CM edition, which means clinical modification, which I told you earlier. And this book is used to capture diagnoses. We also have ICD-10 PCS. PCS is used to capture procedures. So remember in previous videos I discussed ICD-10 CM, ICD-10 PCS, and the difference between the two classification systems, or code books actually. One for diagnoses, CM, and on the inpatient basis, one for procedures, PCS. ICD-10-CM has volumes 1 and 2. And remember, volume 1 is back toward the middle, toward the back of the book. And it's actually where your codes can be found. And that's why it's volume 1, because if you go to look up a code, you'll go straight to that code number to find your code. But when you're trying to assign the code, you'll actually go to volume 2, which is your alphabetic index, to look up your diagnoses, whatever it could be. For example, in previous video I used headache. And this is starting with A. And you just go down and you find, my next couple of videos I'm going to break down how to actually know the difference in your main term and your subterms. I think previously I used the example headache and how I would look up the main term headache. And see how it says R51. But notice how indented are additional terms to talk about the different types of headaches. And I used previously a tension headache. So if I go down there in alphabetical order, and if I find tension, I'm still under headache. And if I go to tension, see how it's G44.209 for tension. So if I look up G44.29, go back to my tabular, and at the top of the page I'm looking for, see how this top of the page is H, G44. So G44 category is tension headache. 209, tension headache. So again, that CM, ICD-10 CM, and this is used for diagnoses. PCS, which we use for procedures, is almost similar in that it's considered its own volume, and you'd use it pretty much the same way. You'd go to your alphabetic index, look up whatever the procedure that was done, and then instead of your volume 1, your procedures are in tables. Okay? And they're in order. Okay. But we're going to have to break this down. But that's why I'm going to do PCS by itself. Because PCS is a whole different ball game. And I need to first teach you the ICD-9 CM to capture your diagnoses, so that once we know the diagnoses, what was wrong with your patient, then we can go in and figure out what procedure your physician does to correct it. Okay? I did go in to purchase my 2016 edition of ICD-10 CM, and the price for the new ones was up to $105. The company that I'm purchasing mine from, ooh, it's getting blurry. Okay, there's my auto. Okay, there it goes. Is willing to offer me, if I purchase 5 books, that I can purchase them each at $75 each. So the first 5 of you to email me at codemastercoach@gmail.com that's willing to purchase a book through me, I will gladly purchase your book for $75. Now, it's just the CM edition. And we're going to go through this book in detail with this class. And now this $75 purchase is only good until July 1, because August they'll be starting the 2017 edition. So usually they come out August, September with the next year's volumes. Okay, so if you're looking for a code book and you can't find one cheaper than $75, the company that I'm going to get mine from for 2016 is willing to allow me to purchase for $75 a textbook. Okay, let me also make sure, while I'm showing you code books, there's 2 more that I'd like to show you. I mentioned that on an outpatient basis, CPT, physicians are reimbursed based on CPT. Now this is an older volume. This is CPT 2014. And again, because I use my encoder through work, I just like to have my hard copy of a code book, because as you can see, I have notes and everything in my book. So as I go to use these books or these codes in the future, I have my little notes to myself reminding me of different things that I've put in the book over the years, so that I know, little notes that I put in here that helps me when I'm generating codes. And as I get my new books, I have to kind of move the codes forward. And it's just, you just fall in love with your book. You'll find that you'll tend to use your book over and over. Little notes that I've written to myself as I'm coding different procedures to help me out as I'm using the codes in here. But this is CPT. So remember, on an outpatient basis, we don't use the PCS version. We assign ICD-9 CM for the diagnosis. We assign CPT for the procedure. So like currently, I'm under contract to do some ER coding for a company that's fallen behind. And so I'll assign the diagnoses with ICD-10 CM, and then I'll assign the procedure with CPT. And while we're talking coding, because there's so many coding jobs, I'm trying to tell you, there's something called HCPCS. And HCPCS are supply codes. You ever wondered how ambulance drivers are reimbursed? Or supplies that are used when women get breast implants, the actual implant itself. How do you pay for these things? Okay? This here is if a cast is put on a patient. You see how cast is there? I look up cast, and you have to determine what, short arm, short leg, shoulder. I'd get the code. That's the alphabetic index, and it actually has the tabular with codes in it. Let me find it for you real quick that you can go to, the actual code itself. But we'll talk about each one as we grow a little further with Codemaster Coach. Okay? But again, I just wanted to come to you and share with you the various code books that are available. But our primary focus will be on ICD-10-CM right now. I've got to get, if I can get this down and teach you this in full detail, then you'll be ready to go to the procedures, ICD-10-PCS. And we will even cover in Codemaster Coach CPT, of course the current edition, as well as HCPCS. So we've got a long road ahead of us, but we can do this, right? Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks.